Hey, I'm Matthew Schoeneman, and I'm in 10th grade. And I'd like to introduce you to my family and the life I live. For starters, I was born and raised in a suburb of Nashville, Tennessee. But about 4 years ago, my family of 6 and I moved farther east from Nashville to a place called Watertown. I've always said that you can tell you live in the country by two things: having a septic tank and being able to hear cows. And that's exactly how it is where we live. I mentioned before that I live in a family of 6. Why don't I go ahead and introduce you to them? First off, my dad, Wade. He's the best dad anybody could ask for. He's a hard-working man who loves his family. And a lot of people think it's cool that he's a DJ for the #1 Christian radio station in Nashville. And I think it's kind of awesome too. Then there's my mom, Rochelle. She's also the best mom anyone could ask for. Because my siblings and I are homeschooled, she's at home with us all day, making sure we've done our work and always making sure to cook amazing meals. I'm the oldest child in our family, so that means I have 3 younger siblings. Andrew, who's 12, Anna, who just turned 10, and Jacob, who will be 8 in a few weeks. All 4 of us are inseparable, and although one of them may say different, we love each other a lot. Now to tell you a little bit about myself. To sum up the things I like and my hobbies is simple: cars, sports, and history. That pretty much sums it all up, but you probably want to know more than just what I like. So let's dive into each of those things and see what I like most about them. First, cars. I think the main reason I like cars is because until I was 11, my dad had a '66 Mustang, and let me tell you, that thing was awesome. It was actually my dad's first car, and he owned it for around 37 years, and even though he isn't much of a car guy, he loves it till the end. Also for that reason, I've always liked Fords. Ask me what my favorite truck is, and I'll tell you a 2017 Ford Raptor. My favorite car? A '67 GT500. And to add on to me liking Fords, my extended family has always been GM people. So you can only imagine the debates we have about Ford versus Chevy. Speaking of rivalries, I'm a diehard Vandy fan, and my extended family has always been Tennessee fans. One of my favorite things is debating with my uncle about Tennessee versus Vandy during football season. I also love the Tennessee Titans. You can probably tell I'm a hometown guy. I've only been to one Titans game, but man was it a fun one. I went with my middle school basketball team, and because someone on the team had a stadium suite, we all got in for free. Titans didn't win, but we had a really good time anyway. It doesn't take too long to figure out after you've met me to know that I love history. I've always been fascinated by the Civil War and American history, but I also know a lot about ancient Roman history. Actually, last year, I had the opportunity to go to Rome on a mission trip, and that mission trip was amazing. I think my favorite thing to see was most definitely the Pantheon. I think the main reason it was so impressive was its massive size. It's hard to justify its size in a picture, so I definitely wasn't expecting it to be so huge. Another incredible thing about it is that it was built in 25 BC. I said BC. And it's still used as a church every Sunday. I don't know about you, but I find that incredible. To this point, I've really only told you about the things I like and the things that have gone good in my life. But what about the things that have not gone so good for me, and some of them just downright close to death? Around the time I was 6, I believe, I was really into Spider-Man. I liked him so much that my parents bought me a Spider-Man costume. One day I was riding my bike down my sidewalk in my neighborhood, and because I had the mask on, my vision wasn't so great. I came upon a trash can sitting next to the sidewalk, and I went a little too close to it, and my handlebars hit the lid, and I flipped over, busting my chin on an aggregate driveway. Turns out I needed stitches, so I went to the ER, and I can't exactly remember how many, but I think I had around 7 stitches put in my chin that night. You can actually still see the scar today. You're probably wondering what I was talking about when I said I came close to death. Around my 9th birthday, my ear started to hurt. My mom didn't think of it much at the time, but it kept getting worse and worse. Obviously, it turned out to be an ear infection. My ear probably hurt full force for about a week, and the pain just wasn't going away. Well, one morning, as usual, I went to the bathroom and did my business, but when I turned around and looked in the mirror, I noticed that my ear was sticking out like this. I knew that wasn't normal, and so I went up to my parents' bedroom and showed them, and they knew it wasn't normal either, and they said, "We need to go to the ear doctor right away." When we got there, it didn't take him too long to figure out I needed surgery to remove all the fluid. Maybe a week later I might have died from the fluid reaching my brain. But because my ear stuck out like it did that morning, we knew something was wrong. If it hadn't, I might not be talking to you right now. Needless to say, the surgery was a success, and I was back home within a few days. And I don't think I've had a single ear infection since then, and I give all the glory to God for that. That pretty much sums up my life in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my life as much as I enjoyed telling you about it.